So in this video, we're going to be looking at 4 farms that I made in the snapshots that are for 1.13. We've got a Phantom farm, we've got a Kelp farm, we've got a Guardian farm, and we've got a Seagrass farm. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. This is Hex, and today I've got something for you. I'm going to be looking at 4 different farms that I built actually in the snapshot versions of 1.13. Now that 1.13 is officially released, I'm going to be going over them and seeing if any of them are still working or if we need to make some changes or updates or anything of that sort. This is also a good way to recap quickly some farms, and then if you want to see the videos, the original tutorial videos that is, they will be on cards on the screen when you get to each farm. So that way you can see the original tutorials, because I'm not going to go into block for block how to build them. Some of them are simple enough that you might be able to build without the actual block for block tutorial, but if you want a block for block, then those will be on the screen. Okay, let's get started with the farm behind me. Now I'm about to say next. So don't worry, you didn't miss anything. I was just going to make one video that included my bubble column elevators and this, but it got a little long, so I cut that. But I'm going to start off with our Phantom farm. Okay, next we're going to check out our Phantom farm. So here's the Phantom farm. We're actually standing inside of it. I'll put a card on the screen right now if you want to look at the original tutorial for this. All right, let's check it out. So I'm all set up. I've got my, whoa, I should probably put some of this on my body. I got a little protection. I've got a looting 3 sword right here. That'll help us get some more membranes. And oops, I forgot to turn on the thing. So let's go turn that on real quick. Right. Got it. Okay. Mine carts are rolling. Here we go. I saw some phantoms above me earlier. They probably burned off when I turned it back to day. So let's say time set midnight. And then we're going to go to game mode, survival. Okay, let's see what happens. Might take a minute for this to wait, so if you see a jump cut, that's what's going on. All right, here they come. Not sure where they're coming from, but they're coming. There he is. Well, that seemed to work. It's good, a little bit more time. We'll kill a few more of them and just make sure that none of them are getting through the gap between the fence and the glass panes here. All right, so I spawned a few of them in. Okay, that worked well. So far they haven't hit us, and so far we've been able to do a pretty good job of getting these things. That's good, okay. Alright, we're getting phantom membranes, quite a few, because I do have a looting 3 sword, so just keep that in mind, but this farm appears to be working, so I'm going to call this one as still working just fine in the full release of 1.13. That's really nice. Okay, next, let's go ahead and take a look at our Kelp farm. So this Kelp farm works pretty well, but there was a couple of problems with it and one thing that I wanted to optimize with it. So again, this will be a card on the screen for the original video, but let's take a look at just a quick overview. So basically we've got kelp down here. They're planted in water, obviously. Then on the side we have a block, an observer, and a block, a piston, and an observer all in lines like this. So basically when the kelp grows to the 3rd level, it is seen by the observer. That observer then activates this redstone line back here, which pushes the pistons out, and it breaks the kelp. So then the kelp entities, or little pieces, fall up. They float up and into the hoppers, as you can see. All right. So it looks to me like we kind of have one problem here, and that is the issue with now in the final version of 1.13, when you place a water source block, it does not create water source blocks below it, so then you still get this effect of slowly sinking in the water. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to make sure that all of those are source blocks. And right now the easiest way to do that is to put kelp on top of it, and that is registered as a bug, or somebody reported that as a bug to Mojang. on their little bug tracker. I checked it out. I haven't seen Mojang's response to that, whether or not that is in fact a bug or something they're looking at or something they're ignoring. I don't know. So, but right now it's working. All right, so what we need to do is get a piece of kelp. There we go. Or get a lot of kelp, depending on whether you're in survival or creative. And we're just going to do this. So you saw I removed the redstone there. That's just so these pistons don't fire while I'm in here doing this. And we're just going to place kelp up as high as we want all the water source blocks to be on each of these kelp plants. There we go. And one there. And one here. Okay, come on. There we go. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and replace the redstone back here. And then we're going to get a button, put on the side of this. Like that. Break the kelp, and in it goes. That's good. Okay, looks like we have one piece down there still, but my suspicion is it's going to start to float up. Maybe. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. While we're kind of checking that out, the rest of this thing is all these hoppers go like right here into this furnace right here, and then that furnace cooks the kelp. In here we can put our, what do you call it, coal or whatever you want to burn, and then that is going to cook the kelp so that you can get dried kelp if you want for making those little dried kelp blocks that are kind of cool. I think they look like army Christmas presents. There it goes. It's floating up. Okay, cool. Now, I have half a suspicion that it's going to eventually start to get caught on these hoppers, but I haven't seen evidence of that yet. Looks like they're flowing straight up and into the hoppers, so that's good. But if you do start to see that, you could move this hopper line over by one and then make this row of hoppers solid blocks. But it looks like we're not having an issue with that right now. Looks like things are moving and working really nicely. It's actually working better than before the final version. Okay, that's good. All right, the other thing I wanted to do was update this guy so that we have basically the items are going to be flowing either into the furnace, or we can bypass the furnace to get undried kelp as well. Okay, so that's what I'm going to try to do here. So I think what we need to do is place a block there, and then we're going to place a hopper facing into that block, so it's not facing into the furnace. We also don't want it facing into the hopper below it, I don't think. And then we're going to put one there. Interesting. You know, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe we can go like this. Let's try it. Okay, we can go like that. So right now, all of these should be bypassing the, yeah, see? This number's going up. Or that number went up by one. This should be bypassing the furnace. The furnace is actually active because it had some kelp backed up in it, but I betcha that if we take this all out... You know what, let's just drop a stack of these things in here. Let's do that. That way we'll know. Okay, so there goes the stack, and let's see if it's bypassing. Yes, it's bypassing. Okay, cool. We got one in here because we still have some coming into this furnace. All right, very good. So then what we need to do is lock this hopper right here if we want to make it so that it's going to work. Okay, let's see. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Let's see, how can we lock that hopper without locking this hopper? Maybe we can't. Alright, let's try this. So we're going to go ahead and go there. We're going to place a piece of redstone dust there. And then... I'd like to come out of... Wait. Huh. What if we came like that? That should do it. That'll do it. Okay. All right. So basically what I did is I put 2 blocks out this way, one there, and then a torch right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put repeaters along here, if I can find them. Very nice. So we're going to do a repeater and another repeater, and then we're going to put a lever right here. Okay. So then when it's up, that's going to give us dried kelp. And then when it's down, that's going to give us regular kelp because it's able to go through. Okay. But then when it's up, it should go straight into the furnace. Let's see. Yeah, we didn't get any there. Let's try with the larger stacks just to make sure. There we go. That's a lot of it. Got 23. Nothing. But we did get some coming in here. Okay, that's good. All right, so that'll work. And then we're just going to put a sign on here so that we know which one's which. Like that. So up is going to be dried kelp. Okay. And then down is going to be undried kelp, or just regular kelp. There we go. Okay. All right, I still don't see anything catching on the hoppers here. And these things look like they are eventually floating to the top. And this farm seems to be efficient enough that if you are getting them stuck a little bit, that it's not going to be a big deal. It'd be just a little deal. It's really weird. I don't know. I don't have any answers for you guys on that one. But if you want more kelp, like if you need a lot of it, you can always extend this. This thing should be infinitely expandable in the direction to the left here. The only thing is that, you know, if one piston fires, like once this one grows, like you're only going to get 15 away from that as far as pistons that are going to fire. But that's actually increases the efficiency of it anyway, so it's not a big deal. But anyways, that's this one. I'm going to call this one optimized for 1.13. Okay, this one I wasn't going to include when I first thought about making this video, but I thought I would mention it. This is my 20,000 items per hour Guardian farm that I made after 1.13 was announced. I think I made it within a snapshot, but as you can see, it's working just fine within 1.13. I've got plenty of Guardians here, and it's working great. So let me show you kind of the upper portion of it just so you can see which one I'm using here. All right, hopefully you can see that through the glass, but this is the one where you have basically a bunch of fence gates that are holding the water up, and then the Guardians are falling down into the kind of killing chamber down there. Now, it's my suspicion that the rates are going to be a little bit lower in 1.13 because there are these codfish and some other things spawning in the area. I'm not sure if that's affecting it or not, if they affect the spawn rates at all. But as you can see, it works just fine. I'm going to kind of precariously swim up here. I'm actually in survival mode right now, so I could totally die. But as you can see, it's working just fine. This is my survival, my World of Hex. If you haven't checked out my survival Let's Play yet, this is from that. And you should check it out because I think it's fun. Anyway, yeah, so this thing is totally working. There's no problem with it whatsoever. The spawn rates might be a little bit different or a little bit lower. But I don't think so. I don't see why they would be. All right, our last one is our little seagrass farm. Now this one here, I will put the card on the screen, but I will tell you that I have another design that I'm going to be releasing soon that is quite a bit faster and a little bit easier to use. So this one's still good because it's small. The other one's a little bit bigger. So, but this is a really small one. Anyways, the concept is you put seagrass down there, or you bone meal that block, and then you have in your other hand the shears, and that. Where'd my shears go? Dagnabbit! Oh, you know what? I'm in creative mode. Hold on. Okay. You have to go to survival mode. This is kind of weird, but... Oh, hold on. Okay. Yeah, the shears like disappear. Okay, so you put the bone meal in your offhand, and then this here, and then you basically right click and left click, right click and left click. Now if you want to, you can hold down right click and just repeatedly left click like this. So you might be able to hear in my microphone that I'm just like going like this, right? So just, there we go. And it gets you a decent amount of seagrass. It's a little it's a little tricky to use to get the hang of it. So the other design will be better. But as you can see, it's working just fine in 1.13. So no problem there. Well, hey guys, thanks for checking out these farms. I hope that you find one or two or maybe all of them useful for you. But yeah, don't forget to leave a like or subscribe, or if you really want to support my channel, go ahead and share the video with somebody. That would really help me out as well. But more importantly, I hope that you're having a wonderful, awesome, fantastic, stupendous day, and God bless.